right. Who are you and where are you from?
Douglas Lyle and my wife Linda.
And where are you from?
Originally we're from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada.
And
work brought us down to Midland.
Midland is where you live these days?
Yes, sir.
And you're out here to see the Cadillac Ranch on the 3rd of April, 2021.
It's on Linda's bucket list, so we had to do it.
And you said you may have a COVID story. You haven't seen your family in a while.
We haven't seen our family since December of 2019.
2019, yeah. We had tickets to go. Linda had ticket to go up to see her daughter and granddaughter in March, and we had to cancel.
We decided it wasn't safe.
So we've been stuck down in Midland for, I don't know, since then. Haven't been able to go anywhere.
Doing a lot of FaceTiming and trying to stay safe.
And you've been social distancing or quarantining?
Definitely.
Yeah, at first, part of my job's considered essential worker, so I've had to work throughout the time of COVID, and so we just got vaccinated. We got our second vaccination last month, so we got onto the list. That was a little bit of a challenge down in Midland, but we were able to get onto the list and get the Pfizer vaccine.
And do you know anybody who has had it? Your family, any friends?
I've had, through my work, a couple co-workers, their extended family, and then one of the gentlemen in my office, his wife actually had it, and she was hospitalized for a little bit.
And in general, what kind of work is that?
Oil and gas.
I see. And has anything good come of the COVID? Are you spending more time together, or you're?
Oh, definitely.
Well, we always spend time together.
And we do a lot of FaceTiming.
Yeah, probably a little bit more
family.
FaceTiming with the family on both our sides.
And family gatherings have been nil, and friends that's been cut back. What has that done to your sense of well-being, happiness?
I guess for
it's
both
been a
of us,
whole
it's kind
year.
of frustrating not be able to go home, and then knowing if I did, I had to quarantine when we get there for a couple weeks, and I missed my mother's 80th birthday.
And my father's 80th.
And my father just got recently married last year, and we missed that. But basically, to do a trip up there for a week, it would have been 5 weeks to do that. Isolate over there, and then when I came back, work was a mandatory 2-week isolation.
And we moved to Midland at the beginning of the pandemic, so we didn't really get a chance to get out and meet any local people.
Well, and explore.
So you haven't made many friends in Midland either?
No, just
co-workers
just
for
my
him.
co-workers, yeah. And then in our little apartment complex, maybe out at the pool and stuff like that. And that was, I guess, they reduced the number of people that could be there, occupancy, and the hours.
So it has affected your happiness level? On a scale of 1 to 10, this year versus other years? 1 being the worst, 10 being the best.
I think we try to make the best out of it, but it is hard when we miss our family and when we talk to our family members and they're crying and everybody's missing everybody.
Yeah. So, you wanted a number.
For worst year? Probably.
Yeah.
And what about going forward? First of all, is the government, what do you think of the government's response has been? And secondly, what do you think going forward? Are we headed back toward normalcy, or is this the new normal?
I think we're going to get a little more normal than we are right now. Obviously, past government really made a mess of this. I think right now we're a little better off.
Well, I think we have two governments that we're being impacted by, both the U.S. state here locally in Texas, and then the Canadian government as well. And so we see the differences in how the two countries have had taken stances on their responses. In Canada, there was a bigger lockdown.
Yeah.
Restriction of travel between provinces. And whereas here we didn't see that as much. A lot of people still traveled, even with I guess in the highest parts of the pandemic. So,
we've only gone anywhere by car, and we usually get a condo and do our own cooking, and still avoiding restaurants and all that stuff unless we can eat outside. The city of Midland, where we live, is terrible. People do not want to wear masks.
Yeah.
People don't want to social distance. They're just fighting it the whole way.
yeah, at the very beginning there was a buy-in, and then it just started to dissipate, and we saw a lot more people without masks. Even when we went to do groceries, we limited our number of times we went out in a week to go to the grocery store or do anything outside of the apartment.
That sounds a little oppressive. It sounds like it doesn't feel like a very free life.
Well, I'm not sure it's a matter of that. I think it's a little bit of protection for yourself and your health. And if you are you're out and around and other people, you're going to transmit that.
I guess I take that
virus.
back, right? That definitely does sound prudent life.
You know where we come from. I guess we were raised a little differently, and if you're sick, you don't go out. You don't go and infect people not knowingly. And with this disease, you don't know if you have it because it's asymptomatic. So how do you know that? So it's something that I guess as a society we haven't had to deal with before. So how people are responding is based off of what they know, not. And the lack of trust in what the government's telling them.
That's interesting. I mean, which government do you trust in listening to about the future?
Dr. Fauci?
Well, about the future, I'm not. I think you just have to look at the stats that are out there, and you can still see that the virus is still rampant, and it's the more it infects people, the opportunities for it to mutate. I think I trust the science.
Well, very good. Thank you. On the 3rd of April, 2021, here at the Cadillac Ranch.
Have a blessed Easter.
And by the way, I guess one last question. How are you going to celebrate Easter?
We are this weekend. So we came up to Amarillo.
And we're going to Stations of the Cross in Groom tomorrow before we head home.
So we came up and we did a hike down in Palo Duro Canyon, and then spent the day just here in town. And then tomorrow we're supposed to do a bike ride this afternoon. We can get one in.
All right.
And then tomorrow is
Stations of the Cross in Groom. And
socially distanced
yeah,
Stations
outside
of the Cross.
stuff.
Outside.
Yeah, it's all outside. It's like the 180-foot cross, and then it has all the
10 stations.
10 stations of the cross with actual size.
I did not know that. I'll look that
it's in
up.
Groom. It's on this highway.
Yeah,
I stayed in Groom overnight.
You're going that way, so you're going the other way now.
You probably would have saw the cross.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, because apparently you can see it from miles away.
Yeah.
Well, thank you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.